chair read a long statement in the role of chair of the planning board.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that the planning board had decided to make a public statement, or the detail and elaboration of the two-page statement, or however long it was, seemed to go beyond what had been decided by the planning board. So I was just unsure if that was really what the spirit of what we were doing was.
I wasn't at the town meeting, so I don't know what was said, so I have to say I don't know.
So I did make a statement, and I spoke as planning board chair. And then I also specifically indicated that I'm now speaking as a private citizen and not as a planning board member. And I concluded the second half of my statement with that.
So I guess I would just for points of moving forward, maybe we agree when, or the manner in which we introduce ourselves, or the manner in which, when we're making a public statement, how does this board wish us to introduce that? And then we can ratify that in a procedure so that we can help each other, because in a small town, we're a lot of different things. And so I don't think an omission is necessarily an indictment, but we can help each other by saying, if I were to be saying something, one of you might say, if I didn't introduce myself as Jeff Fallon's 2 Canaan's Ledge Lane, I'm speaking as a private citizen, that you'd say, Jeff, could you clarify how you are speaking, how are you presenting? And then we proceed that way. I think that would be it'd be helpful for me to know.
I think it was just kind of a tangled statement that Rich made, because part of it was planning board chair, part of it was planning.
He was trying to explain why we had voted to oppose the zoning amendment that,
There was no discussion about that. I wasn't here, but,
it was for the,
Little town meeting?
at Little Town Meeting.
no, but that vote, there was discussion, right?
There was
Yeah.
discussion,
Yeah,
there,
so-
and actually,
so-
there wasn't a unanimous vote.
Right, exactly, and he
So-
said that.
Yeah,
A unanimous vote?
there was not a
There was
unanimous
not.
vote,
Right.
so we
Right.
did discuss it, I mean, to the extent that we had opposing views, so.
So can I just make a request that we formalize or formalize, thank you, it is.
Make a
that's my big
formula,
time.
formalize
Yeah.
it,
A common expectation for how we might introduce ourselves in public when making a public statement. We don't need to do it now, but I'd like to be able to know that.
yeah.
But I think the moderator had asked specifically Rich to comment on whether or not the board agreed with the motion, or the warrant
Proposed
article.
amendment,
Yeah, the proposed amendment, and that's what he answered. And so he was asked, and there was no meeting ahead of time where they knew he was gonna be asked this, so he has no way we could prep
The
this.
second half of his statement went well beyond what was discussed and agreed to. And it was very much a personal expression. And because he first spoke as chair and then became a private citizen, that was kind of a mixed message, I would just say.
So I think there's not much we can do about what has
Oh, no.
happened.
No.
And it doesn't matter anyways, the thing passed, so.
Right.
No, I was very much forward-looking.
Okay, so if we need to make a motion to help me with the word formula.
To make a formula for how we formally present
Now,
ourselves
do we
in
have a
public.
policy, do we have a planning board policy book, or?
Yes.
There's a committee handbook, and I usually bring it with me, I didn't bring it.
But that's for all the.
But there are rules and
Right.
procedures for the planning board, I can send those out to everyone
So
again.
that's interesting, if we wanted to amend that, I don't know that we as a planning
We
board
can.
can do that, but we could make a suggestion. And you know what, I think that's a really good idea, I ran into this on the energy committee too, because there's people who feel very passionately about, energy issues and they wanna be able to write letters to the, like, legislature or to various people advocating for this or that. And I always kind of felt like, well, maybe, fine, I get what you feel about that, but when you're writing and you're putting your name as a energy committee person under there, you're kind of suggesting that you have the endorsement
Of the committee.
of the community,
Which you
and,
don't.
and when people voted you, when you got appointed to the energy committee, they, I don't, or even when the town set up the energy committee, I don't think they were really thinking, well, I'm giving these guys my proxy to decide
Right.
property tax issues. So, I think that's a really good idea, though, that it would be helpful if when people
Well,
are
you're always
speaking
very
out.
clear in your role in the select board, and so the select, seems like the select board rules are,
But so,
It's my inner lawyer.
yeah, exactly, and I think the reason that probably is really helpful is because there's some people, Dave's been on the select board, praise BDU, for a long time, and you learn that, you know, over time, whereas people that are just coming on, haven't maybe served on a lot of boards, don't necessarily have that perspective, don't really know
Sure.
the quagmire, so I think it would be good, because I
You
don't
know
think.
what, I'll take that up at the select board
That'd be
level
great.
about,
I
about
really appreciate
amending
that.
that policy so that it's clear that when people are speaking, that we ask people when they're speaking out of issues of public interest, that they identify that they're speaking on behalf, on their own behalf as private citizens, unless they've gotten express authorization from the board on their survey, on which they're serving to speak on behalf of the board.
The only individual, I believe, on a board that has the authority to speak on behalf of the board is the board chair.
And even then, probably only if the
If
board
giv-
is voted.
Given consent to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I did not know I was gonna be speaking, and the day before or something, the moderator called me and said that, he'd been asked by the other petitioners to speak, and thought that the planning board should have somebody, indicate what their position was.
Yes. And that's not uncommon in Old Town Meeting, that sometimes that happens.
You know, I mean, to elaborate on that, I'm the member of the X committee. I'm in some other meeting.
Recording in progress.
Sorry, I was trying to start that.
Okay, thank you, yeah.
Not just because-
I'm in some other meeting
Mhm.
and somebody says, so what happened there? It's like, well, I was there, I saw this, I am not speaking any, but these are my experiences, and I think
Yeah.
we need to incorporate that
Yeah.
as
Or-
well.
Or at least understand, because that is gonna happen,
Right.
you're absolutely right. What do we do in that type of situation when we're in another committee and they say, well, what is the planning say about this? Am I supposed to say, you know,
I can't talk, call up Rich, or,
it might be, and if it is, that's fine. Or if when we do it, we say, without, you know, without any authority of this is the decision, this is the gist
Well-
of the conversation, I don't know.
There is a total thing when we're talking about applications that are before us. You don't talk to
You can't- yeah,
anybody,
right.
nobody. You
Nobody.
don't talk to another
Absolutely.
planning board member,
Yep.
you don't talk to the
Yep.
butter, you don't talk to the applicant.
You don't talk to the country
Only
store.
talk here in public session.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that is.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's easy. I can't talk about it because
Yeah.
it's a
And people
valid
are-
application.
Because there we're acting as a court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
making a
Yeah.
decision
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Whereas in a planning board is, in many ways, sometimes that judicial decision-making position, but also is in the forward planning, hypothetical, we're gonna have to put this in front of the town conversation, in which the gist of a conversation is less protected. Maybe.
You can, by, loose lips will disqualify you from consideration of a case.
Yep.
So, and.
And
and
there's
you have-
gonna be situations in which I might have to recuse
You're gonna
myself
have to
because.
anyway, because you're the neighbor, because you're a financial investor, you could be a contractor,
That's me,
so,
right.
yeah.
So if I
There are
have,
lots
if
of-
I have somebody coming that's gonna wanna build a house and comes, I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
but it's not why you would not include a developer on the planning board. I mean,
No,
they just
No.
have to be
No.
clear about
yeah, yeah, no, no,
conflicts,
that's,
yeah.
yeah.
unless you really don't.
The expertise is helpful.
So, I think Rich, it sounds like Rich has some things he wants to talk about, but he's not on the agenda. It's 8:20, our attorney's still here. kind of, I'm not sure what Rich wants to talk about, but maybe we should discuss new business and while Joe's here, if it's
Actually,
appropriate or
let me-
not, and then,
I have a very short question. So the minutes from that non-public session are sealed, and so what's my next step? Are you, Mr. Driscoll, gonna talk to Rick Lehman? What else gonna happen?
Yeah.
Well, again, I can't tell you what your next step
No, no, no.
is, because you
Oh,
are
fair
represented
enough,
by
fair
Attorney
enough.
Lehman,
But
and
what-
I'm representing the board as an
What happens
adversary.
What
next?
Is he
happens
allowed
next?
to talk to him because he has represented by counsel?
Yeah, I really can't go down
Okay.
that road.
Maybe I should ask this of the chair, what?
What's
Our,
what
happening?
happens
our
next?
attorney's gonna reach out to your attorney.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. Done.
And basically, we can't talk about it because it's a legal matter.
Sure, no, totally fine. I mean,
Yeah.
not completely satisfactory, but yes, I totally
But we're in a
understandable.
different arena
Yeah,
than we
right,
used to
no,
be, so.
good, thank you.
so.
Now, I'm happy to move along.
So I think we should review the minutes.
Can we let Joe go, or do you need to hang around?
I think we,
This is too much fun, right?
Yeah,
Joe, the drinking
I didn't
habits
check
after.
the minutes, I don't know. if-
did
how
you
accurate
bring
they
the drink?
Thank you, Joe.
are. Well,
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we've got the minutes of
There
March
was
12th.
one problem, talking about the minutes, the wording was, talking about the substance of our discussion, which is the next, there it is, the board discussed, some of the needs to be taken out. So the board discussed short-term transient housing, including campgrounds, hotels, and inns, as part of the discussion of board supplemental locations. So,
Okay.
How's that? That's easy.
Yep.
Yep,
that's the only problem I found.
Nailed it.
that was all I saw.
So we have a motion to accept the minutes as revised.
I'll move it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thank
thank you.
A second? And all those in favor?
I'm in favor even though I'm not,
Yeah.
but I was on the board at the time,
Yep.
I have to abstain because I was absent.
and that's
I think
why I
I
was
was
on.
wrong.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Well,
and
actually, I
Amy.
guess
You weren't here.
And-
No, you were not here, Dave?
Oh, sorry,
But,
then
but
I
I,
abstained
but I,
too.
you don't have to be here.
Oh, that's right, David wasn't, so,
Right,
yeah.
isn't it
let's-
just where we've discussed the changes, we all
Yep.
would agree that we subscribe to those changes, therefore we can?
Oh, I don't know, we've been going under,
We
you
approved.
can't vote on approving the minutes unless you were there.
Oh,
You-
okay.
We,
Yeah, how would
we
you
don't
know
feel
what
like you,
if the minutes
Yeah.
accurately reflect?
I can
what
make a
happened?
motion that they be considered, but I would not vote to actually approve them. I abstained because I
weren't
wasn't here. I mean, I could have dreamt
So
this
who
happened.
was?
But
Uh,
Rich.
Rich
So- so
Rich
Nat,
should vote, because
myself-
he was appointed
Actually,
during that.
yes. Right.
So, and it was me and,
So I do accept.
Okay, so one,
it was
two,
four.
three, four.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's just 1, 2, 3.
yeah, you could have appointed me, but you didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't know why.
I don't know why you didn't either.
you can't appoint someone
Because,
to-
Oh, I
Dave
couldn't,
was,
I can't
Yeah,
appoint
because
a
you can't-
member for
It
David.
has to be a select board member.
But Nat and
Vicky,
No,
But he could have
Maybe.
appointed one for Jeff.
the Jeff's position, he said, Jeff wasn't here.
Oh,
Yeah, Jeff was sort of in that twilight zone of
Yeah,
being on the board but not.
Okay.
Because I wasn't allowed to be at the last meeting,
Why not?
Right.
because they need to be 45 days for recount, and so the first time I became eligible was last Monday. That's what I was told.
okay, fine.
plus you had not signed your oath of
That's
office.
right,
So,
which I wasn't able to do
But there
until
was a
45 days.
vacancy, that
Yeah.
was not the select board vacancy, so I could have been appointed to that,
but I
but I
thought Rich
wasn't.
was,
But there was just you and Nat,
right,
so Rich and I could have been.
okay.
So
I
It's,
don't-
it's okay. I'm
It's not a purposeful slight.
No, it's not.
There was a reason, I don't know why.
Well, the other thing is, it wasn't a lot of content to the
Right.
meeting anyway.
Because I wasn't there, sorry.
Yeah,
Well, no, it would have been much richer
So-
input.
so I'm gonna have you as an extension also because you were,
But isn't that right, Dave? I mean, I wasn't able to be at the. last
Right, yeah,
meeting.
you hadn't signed your oath of office, so, I mean, you could have attended just to be here, but
Oh.
you could not have participated as a board
Voting member,
Yeah.
couldn't have voted,
Right.
but we
Did you
didn't, we
say-
didn't vote on anything anyway.
Did you say why you wanted to be on the planning board at Little Town Meeting?
I just said it was a lifelong dream.
Is that right? Okay.
Because I did not,
He
I
said
I did not
nobody-
take a position. I am agnostic,
Nobody knew him, he was just a small town carpenter,
yes.
And this was a dream of his
yes.
and the
Okay.
public.
I think he was trying to evoke
Spoke.
Jesus or somebody.
What's that?
Evoking Jesus as
By
a
what?
small town carpenter.
Oh, I don't think I said small town. I said, I'm new, you might not know me, I'm a carpenter.
Right.
I think given the hour that it's probably not reasonable for us to enter into great discussions at this point.
Do we have anything that we need to look at? We don't have nothing before the board that needs.
Nothing before the board, other than continuing discussions on possible zoning amendments for next year.
We probably wanna, I don't know, at some point we'll have to talk about whether we wanna try to fix the,
Right. I kind of feel like
Feel free to take.
we need to
Yeah, I
try to come up with the items that we wanna do this next year.
got it. Yeah.
And then
Jeff already has
focus
one.
in on those that are appropriate, because there's a lot of things that we could be working on, and there's only a certain amount of time that we can actually.
thank you for putting these together.
So, would you, who would you have, or how would you develop that list? Would it just be going around at the next meeting saying, what are the things that we wanna list, and then we just put them in the order that they appear in the book?
I think there's gotta be a priority.
Okay.
One of the things that's been mentioned is that, the zoning board, is anxious to get some input from the planning board, and, they feel that they've asked questions as long as 10 years ago and haven't had any response, which
Oh.
I'm kind of baffled by that, but,
You won't be when you start looking at the Ag District and trying to amend that.
okay.
Oh, I got a solution for that.
Okay, well, we don't need to
That's
get
great,
into
but
it
we
now,
don't-
but
yeah,
yes,
that's it.
there are ambiguities in the ordinance that, it's
And
just like.
and it's a bit of a spaghetti code kind of thing where, as Dave was saying
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, that you have to look here and then over here and then accept there, and it's hard to apply.
So in terms of our next meeting, I think it would be worthwhile, David, for you to send out what you are aware of.
Okay.
Well, we had like
We had a letter
assignments
from-
like from last year,
Right.
where
Right.
Hebe came up with a whole list of uses that are kind of common but not reflected in our ordinance. Nat, what we came up with, there was a problem with our definition of lodging accommodations and dealing with transient occupancies. So that has been, Nat drafted up something that needs our input.
Right.
And then, there was I think I was looking into planned residential development. I was hoping to get something out of our survey that actually I would use to, do that. And.
So why don't we each come with a list of things of issues that we're related to? Dave will bring some, Nat, you have
Well,
some.
the zoning, we have a list,
Oh,
and
you
so
do?
what we were looking for was people who wanted to be the
Own
advocate
them.
for that thing,
Yeah.
and try to draft a reasonable working amendment or document or something that then the board could work on, rather than us sitting here scratching our heads and go, we don't know how to solve this.
Don't write by committee.
Right,
Right.
but it's also to have someone who actually thinks very deeply about it in order to bring it forward, and can actually be the advocate for that,
Okay.
trying to get it to be changed.
And maybe you could, I've
Right,
also
but
seen
right-
it where you write it from both perspectives. Like if there's two
Yeah.
dynamics,
You
here's
could.
for 4, here's this.
Yeah, you could.
But
I
Yeah,
know.
you could,
Is
you
there,
could.
is,
And the
If
ag-
I can.
No, the ag soil thing, it may be that you wanna scrap the whole thing because it's too crazy, or you actually wanna try to work with what you got and fine tune it, I mean, and that was Tim, so we do need somebody, unless Tim's gonna come back and be our champion for that, which he might be as a volunteer, that would be okay, you know, that one, but I think sharing the zoning board list,
Yeah, I can reshare that, and
Yeah.
like I said, I can send out, I have a bunch of other,
okay, add them, yeah.
yeah, I found one in the application form
Is he the
section.
only one who rolled off the committee?
Yes,
We should send him a little note or something,
Well,
or maybe we did
we-
already, just to
We
say
talked
thank
about
you.
doing, when John Stadler rolled off,
We did that
we
dinner.
went to dinner
Yeah.
and we talked about doing, because Tim has been involved
For a
with
long
planning
time.
for
I think that's a
long
good
time.
idea, you know, this is
Yeah,
sometimes thankless, difficult work,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
nice to
Yeah.
express our
Yeah.
appreciation for people who put in the time.
For sure, I think that's important.
yeah, we did a dinner, we reserved a room at Ariana's and just had a dinner of, you were allowed to bring your significant other. And, you know, we just had a nice,
That's-
you know, informal, fun drinks and a nice dinner.
and I don't know
I'm
if
not
Dave
concerned.
couldn't come last time, or.
I wasn't available, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I just wanna make sure you're invited, for sure.
Oh, I said, I just, unfortunately, had a
Cool.
conflict.
That's cool.
What
Or
day of
we
the
could do
week?
Stella's this time, so we're not favoring one institution.
I don't, yeah, it's just
Don't
we
need
need to
the
have.
quiet space.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, that-
That's the only thing. I mean,
Yeah,
if
is
Stella's,
that-
there's not like that little room off the.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm happy to make those arrangements, because I don't have anything in the, like, you guys all have historical things to work on, and so if you want me to,
Hysterical
Sure.
things too.
That would be
Sure, to
true.
find
did I
out.
say hysterical?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
I
I
could-
was.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would say, yeah, you know, obviously talk with Tim first to find out when he's available, and then,
Yep.
Ariana's is only open certain nights, so.
Yep.
It'd be good to do it sooner rather than later, so we're not running into graduations and weddings
Yep.
down there.
I will find out
That's
from one of my
awesome.
kids how to do what's the thing that you do to find out if people are available thing on the.
Oh, it's
Survey Monkey?
Google
Doodle
Doodle.
Google Doodle.
Doodle, is that what it is?
Well, Doodle made themselves bad.
Okay, I will figure out a way that we'll get a
Okay.
date.
Rally, I'll send you a note,
Okay,
rally with 3Ls.co.
I'll not remember that, but
Right.
if you
It's a
send it to me,
little,
that'd be
it's a
great.
little tricky because we've all been invited to lovely parties recently, which is a fishing expedition. Have you,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, a very
What?
interesting,
yeah, we get emails that are like a wonderful invitation to a celebration of
Yeah.
something.
Just type in
And then you
your
open it
email
up and you're
address
like-
and password, and you
Exactly.
can view the invitation.
Yeah, and your bank number too, if you're, really.
so it will come from jvalens@nh, or jvalens@nh@gmail.
Cool.
Or I'll just call you all and just say,
That works.
this is what it is.
Or, it's always safe to send it to
Yeah,
me.
you can send it, anything to me, and I can send it out to the board. We typically try not to send, you know, this is not board business, but when you send out emails and people start having discussions in email, it becomes
Can't do
Yeah.
an issue. So if everything comes through me, then even the simple things, that way, we're always following that
That sounds
protocol.
awesome. I'm gonna send something to you.
Okay.
The less time on email, the happier I am.
You need a motion to adjourn?
I certainly do,
I'll move.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can I make one plea to make my husband even happier? Have you all migrated your listserv accounts?
I think
to
so.
vital communities?
I am not on listserv, and I'm happy to.
Good
for you.
Happy
you do
not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So somebody else is taking over listserv?
No,
First,
Dartmouth decided
are
they
you
didn't
gonna
want
take
any
over
external lists.
Right.
So David, my
Maybe it's the
husband,
board. I
is the founder of it, he's been doing it for 40
Right.
years. Has been
I think
spending
Tim
hours and hours figuring out how to set it up in vital
perfectly happy
communities.
with
Vital, I don't know if, that was my question.
Yeah.